The Zephyrian armada had swept across 17 star systems like a tide of death, each world falling within hours of first contact. Their massive dreadnoughts, each the size of a small moon, had encountered nothing that could challenge their quantum disruption weapons or pierce their adaptive shielding. The pattern was always the same. Arrive, broadcast surrender demands, wait 30 minutes, then glass the planet if compliance wasn't immediate. Admiral Kethvar stood on the command bridge of the flagship Eternal Dominion, his 6 arms manipulating holographic displays with practiced efficiency. The 18th target system appeared before him, a modest yellow star with several planets, including one blue-green world teeming with a species that called themselves humans. Intelligence reports. "Subcommander Yixtal," Kethvar commanded, his mandibles clicking in anticipation. The smaller Zephyrian skin shifted to a pale blue, the color of uncertainty. "Sir, the data is unusual. This species has only recently achieved faster-than-light travel. Their weapons are primitive, kinetic projectiles, fusion warheads, basic energy weapons. By all metrics, they should pose no threat. Then why do you display uncertainty colors?" Kethvar's voice carried the weight of 1,000 conquered worlds. "They have sent only one ship to intercept us, Admiral. A single vessel against our entire armada. It's unprecedented behavior." On the main display, the human vessel appeared. Compared to the Zephyrian dreadnoughts, it looked like a minnow facing a pod of whales. The ship was angular, utilitarian, with none of the flowing organic curves of Zephyrian design. Scorch marks and dents along its hull suggested it had seen considerable action. Kethvar's mandibles clicked in what passed for laughter among his species. "One ship? Open a communication channel. Let's see what final words this species wishes to speak before joining the others in oblivion." The holographic display shimmered, revealing a human female in a dark blue uniform. She appeared young by the standards of most species, though Kethvar had learned that appearances could deceive when dealing with alien physiologies. Her hair was pulled back severely, and her eyes held something that made the Admiral pause. Not fear, not desperation, but a cold, calculating determination. "I am Captain Sarah Chen of the Terran Defense Force vessel Defiant," she said without preamble. "I'm here to inform you that your advance stops here." Kethvar felt his skin shift to deeper purple, a color associated with amusement. "Captain Chen, you pilot one ship against 400. Your world has no orbital defenses, no fleet waiting in ambush. Surrender now, and your species will be granted the mercy of quick extinction." Captain Chen's expression didn't change. "Admiral, I've studied your conquest records. 17 systems in 6 months. Impressive speed." She leaned forward slightly. "But you've made one critical error." "And what might that be?" Kethvar found himself genuinely curious. "You've never fought humans before." What happened next would be discussed in military academies across the galaxy for centuries to come. The human ship didn't retreat or attempt to negotiate further. Instead, it accelerated directly toward the center of the Zephyrian formation at maximum velocity. "Sir," Sub-Commander Yixtal's skin had shifted to deep orange, the color of alarm. "They're on a collision course with the flagship. Should we destroy them?" Kethvar was about to give the order when his tactical officer's skin flashed bright red. Imminent danger. "Admiral, massive energy spike from the human vessel. They're overloading their reactor core." The realization hit Kethvar like a physical blow. The humans weren't trying to win through superior firepower or tactics. They were going to detonate their own ship in the middle of the Zephyrian formation, turning it into an improvised fusion bomb. "Evasive maneuvers, all ships, maximum dispersal. Pattern!" But even as he gave the orders, Kethvar knew it was too late. The human ship was too close, moving too fast. On the display, Captain Chen's image remained steady. "Admiral, You asked what error you made. Here it is. Every species you've conquered shared one trait. They valued survival above all else. When faced with certain death, they surrendered, hoping for mercy. Her voice remained calm, professional. Humans are different. We don't just fight to live. Sometimes we fight to ensure our enemies don't. The Defiant detonated at the precise center of the Zephyrian formation. The fusion explosion, magnified by the ship's exotic matter reserves, tore through space like a miniature star. Shields that had weathered planetary bombardments collapsed in seconds. Armor that had never been breached crumpled like paper. When the light faded, the Eternal Dominion still floated in space, but 47 other vessels had been reduced to expanding clouds of debris. The flagship systems sparked and failed across multiple decks, and hull breaches vented atmosphere into the void. Kethvar, blood seeping from cuts caused by flying debris, stared at the empty space where the human ship had been. His skin had shifted to a color none of his crew had ever seen before, pale white, streaked with black. It was the color of fundamental fear, of having encountered something beyond comprehension. "Sub-Commander," he whispered, his voice barely audible. "Signal the fleet. Full retreat." "Sir? But we still outnumber them. Do you not understand?" Kethvar's voice rose to a roar. "They sent one ship, one, and look what it did to us. If this is what a single human vessel can accomplish—" He trailed off, the implications too terrible to voice. As the Zephyrian armada limped away from the Sol system, leaving behind the wreckage of their superiority, Admiral Kethvar sent a priority message to High Command. Recommendation: avoid Terran space at all costs. Humanity is not like the others. They do not merely fight for survival. They fight for principle, and they will die for it. In the ruins of what had been the most feared fleet in the galaxy, one lesson echoed through the quantum communications networks. Some species surrender. When faced with death, others negotiate. But humans? Humans make their enemies pay such a price for victory that conquest becomes meaningless. The Zephyrian Empire, for the first time in its 1,000-year history, learned the meaning of the word retreat.